I wasted £30,000 on life coaching. Or did I? At the time, it felt like one of the biggest mistakes I'd made in my life, but I was desperate, really depressed, and I'd already achieved everything that I thought I'd wanted, but I still didn't feel happy. And so I went all in, searching for something, anything that would make me happy. But what I discovered really shocked me. Welcome back to the channel. I just want to start by saying a huge thank you for your support, your likes, your comments and your subscribes. I really do appreciate it, and it keeps me going and making these videos, because it can be really lonely speaking to a camera. Today I'm going to share with you the mistakes that I made going through life coaching, and it might save you from making the same mistakes I did. So let's dive in. So why would someone drop £30,000 on coaching? Quite honestly, I was so lost, I just didn't know where to go or what to do. And this was one of my last options. By this time, I'd gone through CBT, I was on antidepressants, and I just didn't know where I was going to go from that because it just wasn't working for me anymore. So I decided to jump in and start paying money for coaching. Now, mostly this came by accident. When I did my first coaching program, I was suffering with social anxiety, and I ended up seeing this podcast on Spotify, which completely changed my view, and then I ended up going into that coaching program. But like some things in life, that kind of fell away naturally, and then I was lost again, thinking, how the hell am I going to get to a place where I feel happy? And then I ended up in a mentorship. And when I first signed up, I found myself in this community, like I'd found the place that I needed to be. And I thought, this is the shortcut. I can take all of these people's experience and get further along the path quicker. Life is going to be different. But then this really hit me, and I really wasn't expecting it at all. Have you been on your own coaching journey? Because I'd love to hear about it. And if you have, you'll understand that at the beginning it's really exciting. You're learning all this new stuff that you didn't know before. New tools, big promises. But here's the thing, life just doesn't stop coming at you because you've read a book or joined a program. The bills still keep coming in. And those old habits creep back in without us even realising. And the truth is, sometimes the awareness can actually make things a lot harder. I found myself wishing I could go back to just being unaware and getting on with my life in whatever way I could. Believing this whole life was random, meaningless and insignificant. I used to think we lived and we died and that was it. But then something changed by being in these mentorships. I found people on my wavelength. They were group meditations, spiritual events, breathwork and conversations that I'd never had before. For the first time, I realised that I wasn't alone. And that changed everything. And yeah, at the start, I went to extremes. I was doing all the journaling, the meditations, waking up at 4 a.m. Because that's what I thought that I had to do because everyone else was doing it. But the truth is, you shouldn't compare yourself to anyone. What works for them may not work for you, and that's okay. But over time, you'll find your flow, your own rhythm. And if you're like me, you'll still meditate daily, do some journaling, take a cold shower, but in a way that fits in to your life and feels good to you. But my biggest lesson through all of this wasn't the practices, it was something much deeper. As I said, the real realization was the community aspect, just knowing that I wasn't alone, that I wasn't broken, and that others were walking the same path. And that for me has turned out to be worth way more than the £30,000 itself. Now let's talk about the money aspect, because I just want to tell you, I wasn't a millionaire by any stretch. I had a good job, and it paid me well. However, after growing up really poor when I was younger, I made this success and then set out on a path to have what I claimed I deserved, what I'd missed out on in my earlier years. So while I earned a lot of money, I used to spend even more money than I earned. And quite truthfully, sometimes I couldn't even afford these programs. A lot of them, I got them with their own deals, or I paid them off with a payment plan. And what I've found is, much like everything in life, What we need, the universe brings us. So I'm not telling you to sell your house and live on the streets to do these programs. But if you just say yes, and it truly feels right, it'll come into your life. And just so you know, I'm not telling you need to spend £30,000 to change your life. You can start in small steps. Small investments in yourself. Free webinars. And obviously, free practices like meditation and journaling. Whilst also involving yourself in community spaces like we're building on this YouTube channel. Because transformation doesn't start with money. It starts with a decision to take one small step. So did I waste £30,000? Honestly, no. Because what I found out about myself was worth way more than the money itself. And now I want to hear from you. Have you invested in yourself? Whether it was time, money, or energy. And then later thought, what a mistake that was. Share it in the comments because I'd really love to hear the stories and support you in your journey. And if you want to know the one message that changed everything for me more than anything, in the next video, I'm going to share that with you. So look out for it. I just want to say a huge thank you for watching today. And if you got value from this video, why not share it with a friend? We're building something here, a real strong community and a safe space where you can be yourself. And until tomorrow's video, I hope you have a great day.